It's important to remember what this red stop sign, red flashing lights mean. Okay? As a school bus driver, I know that when we are getting ready to make a stop, we activate our yellow lights. So basically up here, these will be yellow. We'll do that 100 feet before we're getting ready to make a stop, whether it's drop off or pickup, it doesn't matter. Once we stop and we open our door, the stop sign on the side and the red lights are going to be alternating flashing. That means that you absolutely have to stop. There's no exceptions, except for one. But you have to stop, okay? Just like when there's a stop sign, you want to stop. Some of the common mistakes is people like to outrun school buses. They don't like to wait because they know that when we're making a stop, the stop could take a minute, it could take 3 minutes, you never know. So they try to get around the school bus. In these examples, you're gonna see some mistakes. This particular one, this vehicle wants to pass on the right. Who can tell me a reason why we should not pass on the right?
Bike lane. Bike lane.
Bike lane?
About making a right turn, shoulder, or whatever it's called.
Think about it. What are school buses doing? What are school buses doing?
He's gonna smoke some.
What are school buses doing when they have their stop sign out, guys?
They're dropping kids.
They're dropping kids on or off. Where is the door?
On the right side.
On the right side, right. So if this car says, you know what, I don't want to stop, I'm going to pass on the right, what could possibly happen?
Hit a child.
Yes,
someone.
you can hit someone. What about over here? So the stop sign, yep. The stop sign is out, the red lights are flashing at the top, and this particular car wants to go straight. Can they go straight?
No.
No?
No, you cannot.
They can only go straight once this stop sign goes in. And remember, whenever you see those red lights flashing and the stop sign, you are going to be stopping 20 feet in front of or 20 feet behind. You want to make sure that you're allowing that space. You don't want to be up, you wouldn't want to stop here, right? Because then the pedestrians would have to basically fall into your car. Or not really, but you want to make sure that you allow them space. You want to be far ahead of them, okay? What about here? This car is making a left-hand turn. This car is making a right-hand turn. The stop sign is out and the red lights are flashing up top.
Cannot. Not pass.
Yes, you cannot pass. Anytime you have to pass the stop sign or cross over the path of the stop sign, that's an illegal turn. So if I was here, I had a car here, little fancy red car, right? And this car is turning left, this car is turning right. They have to yield because they have a stop sign. If I was going left, which I wouldn't recommend, but you do have the option to make a left here. The only reason why I say I wouldn't recommend doing that is because when bus drivers are making stops, depending on how it's routed, and usually the district does it, what they do is they try to minimize time. So what they do is they try to drop off as many kids as they possibly can at one corner. With that being said, although you can legally make a left turn into here, you don't know if a student is going to get off this street and go over to this side. So if that was the case, you could cause a crash and possibly hit a pedestrian. So always err in caution. Okay? What about over here? They're trying to go on the left-hand side. Does anyone else have anything else to say? Go ahead.
You go straight up and you don't see people crossing the other side of the street.
Yes, yes. Even for school bus drivers, it's very important that you listen to this. Excuse me. even for school bus drivers, this in the front of a bus is our blind spot. So if it's our blind spot and we're up close, right up next to it, this is going to be even more of a blind spot for you because you are further away. In the state of Minnesota, they do not play when it comes to school bus safety. So you want to make sure that you are following the rules to keep everybody safe. Does anyone have any questions? I am a little passionate about it only because, like I said, I have worked in it so long. I have seen kids get injured because of other drivers not following the rules. The only exception where you do not have to stop where there is red flashing lights at top and the stop sign is if there is a divided highway. Everyone knows what a divided highway is right now, right? Because we learned that earlier. Okay, so what about this example? Remember I told you what yellow lights mean. This yellow, the bus has their yellow lights flashing. They're blinking alternately, which is what these lights up here do. Can you proceed
Yeah.
legally?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You can proceed legally. However, you want to proceed through caution. You're only activating those warning lights 100 feet before the stop. If the speed limit is less than 35 miles per hour. If it's more than 35, it's 300 feet. If you think about it, if you're on a residential street, 100 feet is, like in the city of Minneapolis, that's only 3 houses. It's not very far, okay? So if you know this is a warning for the red lights, you should proceed with caution because you never know when he's gonna open that door and those lights are gonna come on. Because once that stop sign is out, you are liable. And believe it or not, some people do not know this, but sometimes we actually call that in. We call in the make and model of the car. We call in the license plate number. You can get a citation in the mail, depending on how they investigated for passing stop signs. Or if a school or police officer sees you do it, you can be fined as well. On top of that, it's dangerous. It's not just about the money. It's dangerous. The stop sign is out. Do not pass, okay? What about here? You can't see, the red lights are flashing, the stop sign is out. Can you pass?
No.
No.
Blake, can you pass here?
Yeah. Everyone.
Hmm?
Which car are you?
Well, you're not the school bus driver. You're here. This is your view. This is from your windshield.
Yeah.
So you think you can pass. Why? Tell me why.
You can see the whole road and you're not on the same side of the road as the schools.
So you think because you can see the entire road and you're not on the same side, you can pass safely. Well,
Anybody else got a different opinion?
some of you other guys said no.
Hunter?
No, because it's not a divided highway.
Yes, that is correct. It's not a divided highway. It doesn't matter if you are over here. School buses, especially depending on the type of city that you're in, we can stop pretty much. Now, it's not anywhere. Very rarely are we on the highway making stops. However, if you see a sign, you know what I mean, and it's not a divided highway, you need to stop because you don't know where the kids are going. They don't always go straight to the sidewalk. They may cross, they may go diagonal, which you're not supposed to do, but you have to stop, okay? Blake, you got it? Because you could have a citation for trying to pass the school bus. Does everybody remember how much it is? We did this on the, we didn't go over the questions, huh?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Basically what happened, go back to that
Oh, okay,
slide.
I'm sorry.
Basically what happens is when the school bus is stopped, there's a line drawn from 20 feet in front of the bus all the way to the other curb. Goes curb to curb. Doesn't matter where the bus is, doesn't matter how wide the road is. Curb to curb. You can't be within 20 feet of that line, front or behind the bus. Does that make sense, Blake? So it's not just what you can see. It's that line, gotta be 20 feet from that line.
All right.
Okay.
The last thing we're going to cover, or the last few things we're going to cover is construction zones. You want to make sure you're navigating through them safely. Pay attention to the signs, the signals, any other control devices. Sometimes you have a person out there, he's a flagger. Pay attention, okay? Make sure you slow down, expect the unexpected, plan ahead. I know it sounds duh, but a lot of people obviously do not do it, especially when they've been driving for a long time. Remember guys, we're going to be different. We want to be safe drivers, so we're going to follow these instructions. How would you feel if someone came driving through your work area?
Most of us feel pretty safe when we're at work. But every year, highway and utility workers are injured or killed on the job. That's because drivers aren't careful and don't slow down when they approach work zones. Think about it. How would you like it if someone drove through your workplace at 65 miles an hour? Work zone crews are just doing their job.
Drive smart, drive safe. We're in the work zone together.
It sounds corny, but it's true. We as drivers, we complain about the streets being crappy, there's holes and stuff like that. They're out there fixing it. So we should be understanding and give them respect that they do, because they're out there doing a very, very dangerous job. What about sharing the road with large trucks? Large trucks, commercial vehicles, we need to pay special attention to them. In 2015, there were 4,226 truck crashes. 62 of those were fatalities, and 1,316 of those people were injured. But guess what? Only 4 of the fatalities were actually in the truck, and only 266 of these people that were injured were actually inside the truck, which means that if you get into I don't want to say a battle, but if you're going against a truck, you're more likely going to lose. They're big, they take a lot of power to stop, and that force of impact can cause a lot of damage.
For some drivers,